Maybe you can relate to this, but getting older kind of sucks. I'm turning 34 tomorrow, and I've noticed that when I'm doing my runs, I have to really warm up for a long time unless I can strain a muscle like my hamstring when I was doing sprints last week. I also feel like every morning I start to have a little bit more tightness in my lower back, which has led to me just needing to do more stretching throughout the day. So since my lower back has been feeling a lot of tightness, I started doing these yoga stretches. So I wanted to show you the 5 yoga stretches that are going to really help you if you're also feeling that pain in your lower back. The first one is what you would do in a typical yoga class, especially if we're focusing on lengthening the lower back, and that's just child's pose. But when we're in child's pose, if we have our knees wide, that is going to help you kind of stretch out the inside of the legs, but it's also going to be a limiting factor where we won't be able to push back too far. So what I want you to do is I want you to keep your knees inward, and I want you to not just be here with your hands close to the body, but I want you to actually really extend your arms out and start pushing your hips back. So with this exercise, with this child's pose, we're just trying to find a lot of length by reaching those hands forward. This is Utthita Balasana, extended child's pose. We're going to really reach those hands far, and at the same time, we're keeping our hips back. So that's how we're going to create that stretch in our lower back, is by reaching our hands forward and then pushing your hips back actively. So let's take a few breaths in this position. Let's breathe in for 4. And out for 8. In for 4. And out for 8. 2 more in. And out. Last one, in. And out. Let's go reach your hands over to the right side now and keep your hips back. Forehead comes close to the ground. In for 4. And out for 8. And same thing here, actively reaching your hands forward, at the same time just pulling your hips back. Should start to feel that lengthening all throughout the lats as well as the lower back when you're pushing your hips away. Let's take 2 more breaths. Nice, 1 more. And good work. Let's reach your hands over to the left side now. Doing the same thing, just 4 breaths here. Last one. And good. It's really important that we're actively reaching and pushing our hips back because we want to lengthen out the lats. I've noticed for myself, since I do a lot of calisthenics and a lot of pull-ups, that lower back tightness, if my lats are too tight, it starts pulling here and will start creating tension into the lower back as well. So this one will stretch out your lower back, your hips, as well as those lats. So very important. The next one we're going to do is we're going to go into my favorite lower back stretch, and maybe this one will really help you out a lot. It's like a mariachi band coming across, an electro mariachi band. But for this one, we're going to kick your foot over to the right side, and then the left leg is bent inward. We're going to reach the hand straight up into the sky, and then we'll go ahead and reach towards your right foot. And for this exercise, we're just reaching as far as we can. If we want to grab onto that foot, that's perfect. You can also just grab onto your shin. But the way that we're going to make this one better for your lower back is by getting a little bit of a twist towards that long leg. So when we twist towards the long leg, we can really feel that lengthening even into the quadratus lumborum, so your QL. Let's take 2 more breaths. Last one. And out. That's beautiful. So I love this one because you're also able to lengthen the hamstring. And I notice with myself, when I just start stretching out my hamstrings more, I start to feel a big relief in the lower back too. Sometimes when people are squatting, their butt will kind of wink down, and that just shows that your hamstrings are really tight, and what ends up happening is it's going to start putting pressure into your lower back at the bottom of your squat movement. So when you start stretching out your hamstrings, it's a great way to find that relief in your posterior chain. So let's go, left leg comes out now, and let's go do the same thing on the other side. So inhale, reach the hands up, and exhale, reaching over towards that foot or the shin, whatever you can grab onto. Once we grab on, we're just trying to create that extra rotation just to feel that deeper stretch into that right side here. And take those calm breaths. Let's just take 2 more breaths here in this Janu Sirsasana. Nice, y'all. Okay, last one. And beautiful work. So let's go ahead and let that go. Next thing we're going to do is we're going into a plow pose. It's a great one to find a little bit of length in that posterior chain all throughout the back, but also finding a lengthening in the hamstrings, just like I talked about how that's important. So you're just right over here, and you're going to gently just roll back. I like to tuck behind my hamstrings, and then I'm going to pull behind my calves, and then finding this lengthening, and just pulling your legs downward so you're feeling that stretch into the hamstrings here. And being here for a few seconds. This is our third stretch. Let's take 2 more breaths. Last one. Slowly roll forward. Hopefully I don't land on my cat. Get out of the way. And then this next one, we're going to go into a prone twist. So you want to pull this knee in, and then you're going to pull that right leg over to the right side. That's just going to allow us to get a little bit deeper into the stretch as we pull that right knee towards the left side. If we have a block, it's really helpful to put a block right over here underneath the knee so we can really allow ourselves to rest. This one's going to be a nice lengthening all the way onto the side of the hip, which is really connected over to this lower back area. So when you are feeling tightness in a spot, if that is the knee, lower back, your shoulder, you want to make sure that you're stretching the muscles around that area, and that should give you a little bit more relief outside of just focusing on one specific area. So let's hold here for a few more breaths. Last 2. And 1. Great. Coming over to the other side. Tuck the left knee into the chest. Pull the left knee over to the left side. Then all the way over to the right. And I'm just going to allow my knee to rest onto my fist. And let my left arm go to the left side. Holding here for a few breaths. You can also feel free to maybe even kick that leg out a little bit to get a little bit more lengthening here. Or just pulling that top hand on top of the leg. Let's take one more breath. And good work. Okay. This is my favorite one for my tech workers. We're going into a forward fold. So you can go to that downward facing dog, coming into that forward fold. And from here, you're going to cross this right foot over the left leg. And then reach your hands over towards the right side. Finding length here. So right foot is in front of the left foot. And then I'm reaching over towards the right side. And I'm actively pushing my hips outwards to feel that opening onto the outside of the hip as well as the lower back on the left side. Let's take 2 more breaths. Last one. And good work. Okay, let's take this left foot in front. Reach the hands over to the left side. And we'll finish up here. Should feel the lengthening from the hamstring to the outside of the glute, as well as the lower back on the right side. Nice work, y'all. 2 more breaths. Last one. And beautiful work. All right, y'all. So hopefully you're feeling a little more loose in the lower back. And I do believe that these stretches are going to give you instant relief if you do them consistently. So whenever you're feeling that tightness, even first thing in the morning, I think this is a great yoga flow to do. Just taking these stretches and putting it together. I'm sending you a big old peace sign and lots of love. I appreciate you and have a beautiful rest of your day.